Hello guys, this is Shady here bringing you back a new video, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the Harlem Hellfighters. And before I start the video, I'm going to tell you guys a kind of a funny story. So so last week when I went to Florida, I went to Disney World and I went to the Epcot Park, and in that park there was a museum sort of, and it like represented the American history. But there was like a little exhibit and there was like artifacts and like they were real artifacts from like in the from back in the day from like the 1800s and 1900s. And one of them they mentioned the Harlem Hellfighters, and I saw like a real picture of them like that someone painted of one of these soldiers, but it was like real. It dated back to like I think 1918. But anyway, that was before the Battlefield 1 trailer came out. But ironically, when I was in the museum, because there was a film that they were going to be showing about like basically the whole American history from the Revolutionary War up until now. Um, so yeah, so while I was waiting for that movie to start, I was on my phone, and the Battlefield 1 trailer came out, and I couldn't believe it. That they were like, I couldn't believe it, right? Because okay, first of all, I was like amazed by the trailer, and then second of all, like after like I saw a few videos on it. Someone said about like the Harlem Shake DLC or something, and it was just I was kind of amazed that it was the same people that I saw like just a few minutes ago. But anyway, back on subject. Like the Harlem Fighters were first known as the 15th New York National Guard Regiment and officially known as the 369th Infantry Regiment. And they had a lot of nicknames like the Harlem Hellfighters, of course, the Black Rattlers, and the Men of Bronze, which was given to the regiment by the French. The nickname Hellfighters was given to them by the Germans due to their toughness and that they never lost a man through capture, lost a trench, or a foot of ground to the enemy. The Harlem Hellfighters were the first all-black regiment that helped change the American public opinion on African American soldiers, and they basically helped future generations of American soldiers in America. And while many like African Americans who served in the Great War believe that like upon returning home, racial discrimination would dissipate, that unfortunately did not happen because it was still early in America's history, or not early, but it was still like before the civil rights and everything. So racial hatred after World War One was probably at its worst until the start of the Second World War. But so with this American discrimination of African Americans, although many African Americans were eager to fight in the war, they were being turned away from military service. But when America finally realized that they didn't have close to enough soldiers to fight, they decided to pass the Selective Service Act, which required all men from ages 21 to 31 to enlist in the draft. And additionally, they decided to allow African Americans to enlist as well. This would give like African Americans the opportunity that they needed to try and change the way they were perceived by white America. And although there was like a lot of injustice going on towards the black fighters, um, like some shops refused to sell goods to the members of the 15th Regiment. So like when someone refused like that, the members of the 27th and 71st divisions told the shop owners that if they did not serve the black soldiers, that they can close their stores and leave town. The white soldiers then stated, "They're our buddies, and we won't buy from men who treat them unfairly." So even if there were a lot of bad people back then, there were still pretty good people back then that protected the soldiers and stuff. Even but later on, even after like the black soldiers like fought to join into the military basically, and they got trained. When they arrived in Europe, they were given labor jobs such as like helping loading stuff from the ships and cleaning, even though they were trained for combat. But another injustice that happened was that even though the American generals or the Congress, I kind of forgot, um, told said that no American soldier shall fight under a foreign general, like a French or British general, they decided to hand the Harlem Hellfighters towards the French. But this, however, still didn't affect them, even though it's kind of like it kind of amazes me that it didn't affect them. Because if I was like, let's say if I was one of them, I wouldn't want to be fighting like under another country's flag. But one of the soldiers, like they were really determined soldiers. They were determined to show that they were as good as everybody else, and they even ended up earning the Croix de Feu. Nah, I'm not pronouncing that right, even though I'm in French. But one of the highest French medals that they can actually get. It was awarded by the French government, and it has like extraordinary valor. But by the end of the war, 171 members of the 369th like division were awarded the Legion of Honor or the Croix de Guerre. I'm not pronouncing that right. God damn it. But in May 1918, like I'm just telling you guys a story. I like while I was doing my research on Wikipedia and like other websites, I found that in May 1918, Private Henry Johnson and Private Neiman Roberts fought off a 24-man German patrol, and they were both like severely wounded because like they were with the French, and they tried to reload their rifles, but they had American rifles and they tried to reload with French ammunition, so they got jammed. So Roberts used his rifle as a club, and Johnson battled with the bolo knife. And reports suggest that Johnson killed at least 4 German soldiers and might have wounded 30 others. And that's just a great. Like, just imagine that. That's like, wow. That's just amazing. And then France, the 369th was treated as if they were no different from any other French unit. The French did not show hatred towards them, and they did not racially segregate the 369th. And they finally felt what it was like to be treated equally. But like the French accepted the all black 369 regiment with open arms and welcomed them to their country. And the French were like less concerned with the race than the Americans, and they were short on troops too. So they obviously they wouldn't care if you were fighting with them because they were low on troops and they needed you. And just a little bit like after the war, the soldiers returned and they still were being discriminated against. But later on, like in the 1930s, they built a monument towards them in New York. And in like 1993, I think, or 1994, they named the street, like they renamed the street Harlem Drive to Harlem Hellfighter Drive. And in 2006 or 2003, they made a new monument towards them, and it was a replica of one of the monuments that's in France right now. And yeah, unfortunately, some of these soldiers did not get the recognition that they deserved. Like Henry, he never got like the Medal of Honor from the United States, like his own country. He just got recognition from the French. So he ended up dying in 1920, I believe. No, not 1920, like in 1929. But just last year, Barack Obama gave him the Medal of Honor, which was a pretty good moment for Henry, even though he's dead. But anyway, yeah, this was just a little quick facts so you guys know who the Harlem Hellfighters are. And expect more Battlefield 1 news on my channel, and I'm gonna start doing them daily. Not daily, but I'm gonna start doing them as like new information gets released about the game, and just little facts like this and stuff. So this was Ellis Shady, and I'm out. Peace. And then Call of Duty 4 came around, and then it just it was like the big battle. What's the better game? And I remember the COD players were always like, our game is more realistic. It's like it's based in